Broadcasting from Chicago, this is Fierce Buddhist, a Seo Inc. production. Thank you for joining our celebration of Hana-matsuri. The flower festival commemorates Buddha's birthday in April. This year, our officiants are Reverend Fukumoto and Chaplain William Seo. Reverend Fukumoto will begin with Sanbujo. Please refer to your programs.
Namanda, 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 Namanda. Bujo mida anyorai niudo jo sange era bujo shaka anyorai niudo jo sange era bujo jipo nyorai niudo jo sange eraようやくうやうやしくも見れば阿弥陀如来は在後人獣の凡夫を救わんがために大慶公の本願を成就したまい釈迦如来中世の本願を表して皆の本願を解きたも七高僧は如来の勝意を受け継ぎて世々にこれを検証し修正親鸞上人これを教行心象に表して浄土真宗と名付けたまえり我今は幸いに上人の気度によって真実の教えを聞き大の声愛をこむって真の仏弟子となる喜ばしいかな報じても報じがたきは如来の音読写しても写しがたきは司教の音卓なりしかればすなあわち幻想には武装の疎開を仰いで放射の特道を歩み捕らいには往生の疎開を遂げて涅槃の妙化を昇仙ここに本日2020年花祭りお釈迦様のご誕生日にあたり上の人々は相集まりうやうやしく仏前を称言し年頃に商業を独従して広大の布団を写真祭らんうやまても異名無量十如来 ナモカシギコド雑院日財政自在を部長道元上仏上道院国道人年自然ま混入無常中小願超付け部大部税五法私有師匠部住所名称文字法無無料無縁公無限無体公園の症状関係知恵公再分上無法症本願名号症状後死心心行願人上等学長大涅槃一死滅老願成就如来正意古修正唯説二段本願会五条各自分上会往生如来ご都言お知念気愛心空断本能特例犯、本条約交際入、入修進入会一味、摂取進行上昇後、意の水波無明暗、東内心臓死有無常、真実新人天、非尿肉、無神経病。無反逆真剣兄弟狂気、速攻超絶工学習、一切全幕本無人、本鎮如来偶税願、仏根広大小芸者、善人名踏んだり、芸味打仏音願念部、邪見狂慢な修上、信行十字人に南中心南昔、要塞天地論芸中華自治騎士こそ現代諸国聖書意妙如来本税要記釈迦如来両合戦立宗五妙南天寺有重大自主とせ父の財派無権節大乗無情報召喚議事所安楽賢人南行六六新行異行指導楽国年未打仏漢字年即時入一条意の上昇如来語大法大非偶税四天神ボス総論説奇妙無形公如来中太来謙信実個性を頂戴聖願法医本願二傾向移動群上小維新記入空徳派よ自虐入大英収集特殊連芸造成会即出身女保証人入本の林源神図入賞人四自由芸本鎮道来両天地上皇乱消防殺来三蔵律師十条教本上聖行気楽法天神ボス論中芸報道員が県政願、大元猫、有他力、症状死因、入新人、幕線本部、新人、高知、小知、小知、側面案、七無料、公明道、小首相会、風景、同社結晶、道南町、有名浄土、活入、万全自力、本主市、安徳語、感染症、関不産、本号、増末放滅、動員、一生増悪、地具税、死安、妖怪、商名化。全道道苦妙仏性意公愛助三要逆悪公妙妙合介入本願在地会行者小衆混合心教期一年総合よい大東逆三即所保証市上楽原神公開次第系譜変気安妙観一切先祖修心安先法華二道小便理由極自由悪人優勝仏が愛薬剤摂取治癒煩悩証言水風見大無見上世が本心元空妙仏系連民全幕本部に新宗教証拠演習戦弱本願具悪性現代生じ臨伝芸経地義上位諸子即に有弱上無一心人にのに仏教大事主旨と上際無変極上悪同族自由修武道心有意化心思こそ説ナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブナモアミダンブ涙成仏のこの方は今に実行を得たまえり良心の小売り極もなく背の猛妙を照らすなり Namo Amidambu, Namo Amidambu, Namo Amidambu, Namo Amidambu, Na. 知恵の光明計りなし、無量の所相、ことごとくこ受けるかむらぬ、桃はなし真実の奇妙せよ。ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナ。下脱の降臨、ひわもなし、高速かむる者は皆、有無の離ると述べたも、平等格に奇妙せよ。ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナ。幸運無限予告、一切げに一切なし、光沢かむらぬものぞなき何時義を奇妙せよ。ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナ。少女光明並びなしぐしこのゆえなれば一切の合計ものぞこりぬ秘境へよ奇妙せよ。ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナモアミダンブ、ナ。無効性う最大一公園の部と名付けたり三途の国は未楽なり大王具を奇妙せよ。がんにしくどく平等性一切の本望大神往生安楽ナマンダーナマンダーナマンダーナマンダーナマンダーナマンダーナマンダーナマンダー。如来小異古修正、唯説弥陀本願会、合助国寺群上会、往生如来如出言。Sakyamuni Tathagata appeared in this world solely to teach the ocean-like primal vow of Amida. We, an ocean of beings in an evil age of five defilements, should entrust ourselves to the Tathagata's words of truth. Namanda, namanda, namanda. Excuse me. Welcome. Thank you for joining me today and William Shihan Sensei. We appreciate this. It's a chance to share the joy we have of our tradition of Jodo Shinshu. I just read 2 lines from the Shoshinge. Shoshinge is a seminal work that Shinran Shonin did. Now, normally in a service, we read something from the writings of Shinran Shonin. What I read is simply from the Jodo Shinshu perspective, the historical Buddha, the Sakyamuni Buddha, came to this world specifically to share the joys and the teachings of the Amida Buddha, a path that allows all to continue even through the three ages of the Dharma. Now, the rest of this you can read, and if you didn't get it, please download it, and it will be available to you. I just want to kind of divert from what I have written there to share some of the joys of the Jodo Shinshu that I find. And as such, I'm going to read another Gosandai, are the readings of Shinran Shonin. Kimyo Muryo Junyorai Namo Fukashigi Ko. Simply, the taking of refuge in the Buddha of immeasurable life, which is compassion, and to entrust myself to the Buddha of inconceivable life, which is wisdom. Now, what we just read is the Shoshinge, and the Shoshinge, in short, is the story of Jodo Shinshu, and the first two lines, like the Nembutsu, is the entire content of the whole writing of the Shoshinge. Now, before I go into a little bit more, I guess introduction should be given. Name is Rei Fukumoto. I guess by title, I guess you call me a reverend or sensei, whichever. I came to Jodo Shinshu by birth. My parents were Jodo Shinshu Buddhists. As such, I grew up as a Shin Buddhist. However, no idea what a Shin Buddhist was. I also grew up in Boyle Heights, which means that I had a lot of Hispanic friends, Mexicans to be more specific, which means that I got a lot of the Catholic rhetoric along the way. So it's not so much that I've studied Christianity, but I certainly have been inundated with it since the time I was born. Now, I will tell you this. When I first started off in the path of Jodo Shinshu, I had no idea which path I was following. The path of the Nembutsu. What does the Nembutsu mean? Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu. We say it all the time, but who knows what it means? I certainly didn't. I didn't really understand what the Nembutsu was until I was, 44 years old back in don't like to go back that far, but a while ago. I think I was a Dharma school teacher at the LA Betsween for over 40 years. I also taught at Venice Honganji for 10 years as a Dharma school teacher before I decided at 63 to go to Japan to study at Chobukyo Gakuin, which is a Buddhist seminary. And many of the ministers that you see at BCA went through the same path I did to receive Tokudo and Kyoshi. So again, this path is the path of the Nembutsu. Before that, again, I was a soldier during Vietnam. I graduated from college in '67. I was a designer, got my master's degree on the GI Bill. I was the director of graphics for the largest architectural design firm in the world. If you want to look up, it was called Gensler. I was there for 10 years, won a lot of awards. I got recruited out of there to work at Walt Disney Imagineering. I worked there for 3 years during the Euro Disneyland. I was the project manager for all the signs of Euro Disneyland. In 2009, I decided to school right here. And at the school, is that what's really important in our Jodo Shinshu tradition is not so much the head, but it's the heart. And the reason it's the heart is because we are a faith-based Buddhist tradition. We are 100% faith-based. The present Gomonshu in a class on the Tanisho gave this very succinct definition. He said, you know, in Jodo Shinshu, it's 100% faith, not 99.9999999. Because if you have 0.000000001% of doubt, guess what? It's all doubt. It's all doubt. 100% doubt. And that's really what conditions. I will be reading how nation of Joro Shinshu to visitors. And the 6 things we don't do is, we don't believe in worship, we don't believe in prayer, we don't believe in souls, we don't believe in reincarnation, we don't believe in meditation, and we don't believe in superstition. And the reason we don't is that we have, number one, we have nothing to pray for, and eventually we too will become a Buddha, so it's like worshiping yourself. We don't have souls. Why? There's this thing called Shogyo Mujo, or impermanence. If you have something that's constantly changing, how can you have a soul? Which is supposed to be unchanging. And without a soul, how can you reincarnate? Now, that doesn't mean other sects are wrong. It simply means that's our understanding. And then we don't do meditation because in our tradition, we believe in the workings of the Amida Buddha. Now, what the working simply means is this. If you read the Daimuryo Kyo, and most people haven't, there is a passage in there where he creates 48 vows. 48 vows to save everybody. And then within this 48 vows, it takes him a certain amount of period, 5 kalpas to write the vows, 12 kalpas to complete. In other words, it takes him 17 kalpas to do the work to save everyone. And again, saving means to become a Buddha. It's not to go to heaven or anything. It's to become a Buddha. That is salvation in the Joro Shinshu tradition. So every time we say Namo Amida Butsu, we're thanking the Amida Buddha for creating the causes and conditions for us to become a Buddha one day. You may ask, why is it faith-based? Well, you realize, or you may not realize, but Joro Shinshu is the largest Buddhist tradition in Japan. And at one time, it was the largest Buddhist tradition here in the United States. The reason we are is very simple. There are more peasants in this world than there are elites. If you go back to the time of Shinran Shonin, 1100, 1200s, right around that time period, you had famine, strife, all these other things. The Buddha Dharma was only for, our Buddhism was only for the elite. It was for the emperor, royalty, the samurai, all those people. They were the only ones that really had time to do meditation or do all these other practices. In Joro Shinshu, we don't have the time, at least not back then. And this is why, since you have more peasants than you do elites, we're the largest Buddhist tradition. As we migrated into the United States, the same thing. The first ancestors that came here from Japan, Hawaii, they're all peasants. They all started working on the sugarcane fields. Then they came here to the mainland, same thing. They either worked on the road or the railroads, or they worked in farming. That's how my parents, not my parents, but my grandparents, and my father too. That's how they came and why they came. So in other words, we're poor folks. We don't have time to do all these meditative practices, so we rely upon the Amida Buddha for creating these causes and conditions. Now I'm going to expound on a few things, and then I'm going to cut it short because I don't want to bore you to death. But the fact of the matter is, Shinran Shonin in his writings said this, because we're talking about faith, and he says that all the people that he's ever learned from, all the people that ever taught him, all the readings that he's done, point to one thing, is that it's faith. And it's not just repeating things like Namo Amida Butsu over and over again, because that is the vehicle for birth in the Pure Land. There's not enough time for me to really cover all things, and I'm kind of like jumping in with these small things. What I'd like you to understand, though, is that Shinran Shonin said he has faith that this will happen, but he is not sure. And the reason he said that is because I never met anybody to die and come back to tell me what really happened. So I'm making the assumption, have this confidence in the conviction, my conviction that the teachings of Shinran Shonin and the Sakyamuni Buddha are correct. So this is my faith. So Shinran Shonin said, if I'm wrong and I find myself at the gates of hell, his words, well, this is where I belong. And for me, this is where I belong, talking to people, because this is what I feel my work is. I feel I become part of this joy that comes from being a Shin Buddhist. I will end it with this one thought. And again, I know I've covered a lot. And I'm having a hard time because I'm very talkative. And I love to talk. But not just chit-chat. I love to share the joy, the light, and the compassion of the Amida Buddha with whoever I meet, whenever I meet, anytime. Why? Because it just overflows out of me. So, if there are any questions, please talk to, William Sheehan Sensei and ask. We can have questions and answers if we had that ability, but since we don't, I wish we could actually meet in person because it's a hard time talking to a camera. But just realize this, the joy in Joro Shinshu is that everybody is okay. And it's written in the scriptures, all the sutras say the same thing. If you have any questions, please ask. Just realize that Joro Shinshu is without a doubt the most compassionate religion the universe has ever seen. And with that, I will read the letter of Renno Shonin. And the reason I want to read this is because in today's environment with the COVID-19 virus, so many people are dying. And Renno Shonin, in the letters on the white ashes, which is usually read at either memorial services or at funerals, is what I'd like to read right here and end with in today. Sore ningen no fushou naru so tsura tsura kanzuru ni おおよそ儚き者はこの世の死中中幻のごとくなる一号なりされば未だ万歳の人参を受けたりということを聞かず一生過ぎやすいし今に立って誰か100年の行態を保つべきや我や先人や先今日とも知らず明日とも知らず 遅れ先立つ人は元の雫末の梅雨よりも茂しと言えりされば明日には光があって夕べには白骨となれるみんなりすでに無常の風来たり濡ればすなわち二つの眼たち町に閉じ一つの息長く耐え濡れば 高顔虚しく返じて通りのよそほえを失いぬる時は六神眷属は集まって嘆きかしめどもさらにその会あるべからずさてしもあるべきことならねばとてやがいに送って夜の煙となし果てぬればただ八根の水のこれり 哀れというもなかなか愚かなりされば人間の儚きことは老少不浄の境なれば誰の人も早く五章の一大事を心にかけて阿弥陀仏を深く頼み参らせて 念仏もすべきものなり、あなかしこ、あなかしこ。When I deeply contemplate the transient nature of human existence, I realize that from the beginning to end, life is impermanent, like an illusion. We have not yet heard of anyone who lived 10,000 years. How fleeting is a lifetime? Who in this world today can maintain a human form for even 100 years? There is no knowing whether I will die first or others, whether death will occur today or tomorrow. We depart one after another more quickly than the dewdrops on the roots or the tips of the blades of grasses. So it is said. Hence we may have radiant faces in the morning, but by evening we may turn into white ashes. Once the winds of impermanence have blown, our eyes are instantly closed and our breath stops forever. Then our radiant face changes its color and the attractive countenance like peach and plum blossoms is lost. Family and relatives will gather and grieve, but all to no avail. Since there is nothing else that can be done, they carry the deceased out to the fields. Then what is left after the body has been cremated and turned into midnight smoke is just white ashes. Words fail to describe the sadness of it all. Thus, the ephemeral nature of human existence is such that death comes to young and old alike without discrimination. So we should all quickly take to the heart the matter of the greatest importance of the afterlife and trust ourselves deeply to Amida Buddha and recite the Enlightened, humbly and respectfully. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Namanda. Thank you very much. I hope you weren't too bored. This ends today's service. If we had time, and if we had more connections, it would have been nice to have a question and answer, and maybe we may still be able to do that. So thank you for attending today.
Thank you, Sensei. I'm hoping that when people see this, maybe we can get some feedback in the comments and they will be able to, we can set something up for a future. We have a meeting, we can set up a Zoom meeting that other people can come in and do a question and answer.
Yeah.
Maybe that's something that we can look forward to in the future.